What's up, guys? This is going to be a quick, short video of just me going over my controls in Doom Eternal. So, these aren't requiring anything, but these are my best recommendations as I have used these for almost the entire time I have played the game. So, first, this one is optional because for new players, you might need this, but if you've at least completed the campaign once, then this is pointless. So you don't need the tutorials on after a while, but I have mine off because I don't feel like having to play it every time I replay the campaign. The classic weapon pose is optional. I've heard from a lot of people that it helps you see better, but for me, I always just left it on the original position. Weapon bob, I suggest turning that off, as it can be buggy sometimes, as well as environmental screen shake, so you're not thrown off in the middle of gameplay. Next, for the UI color profile is optional. For a long time I used Exterminator, but I stopped and I started using default again because whenever I had Exterminator on, my chainsaw, flame belch, and frag were always red, like everything else with Exterminator on, but I couldn't recognize which one was charged and which one was not, so I'd think Flame Belch was charged when in reality it was Chainsaw, so I'd go in to Flame Belch Glory Kill and nothing would happen. So that threw me off a lot, so I put on the default UI. Next, scrolling down the UI right now. Most of the UI I have not changed at all. Yeah, the UI for me is pretty much unchanged. Next, for controls, like the menu, we're not on the Slayer controller yet, but for the menu, the sensitivity is optional, but I suggest the more you play, try to progress it upwards by like 10, because mine, I perform my best at 85 horizontal and 75 vertical. Don't try to match them on the same number because I found that to be like a little wonky. So I've always had horizontal 10 above vertical, but just try to progress on that. Aim assist, have it on, but have the strength at 0.00. Honestly, I don't know what the point of this is, but I saw it on a video a while back whenever I first started playing, and I found like that to be useful, but I have no idea what that does. Target snapping, have it on. Look smoothing, have that at 0, so you don't get thrown off when you're looking around and stuff, because that has messed me up a lot. The weapon wheel open delay, this one is also optional, but I've had mine on 250 as that one has opened the easiest for me, and it's just at a decent time to open it. I'm going to get onto the Slayer controls last, as that's the main part I'm going to go over, as well as the extra controls. For video, have your FOV maxed always. That should always be maxed from the start. Motion blur, have that off. Gamma, that one is really optional. I have mine maxed due to my TV. Chromatic aberration, have that off. Film grain, 0. Loot drop brightness, this one is also optional, but I have mine set to 35 as bright loot can be distracting. For audio, all of this is optional. The main menu music is also optional, but mainly the only thing I've changed in here is the opponent hit notification sound, because by default it's set to arcade, and for me that was really annoying and just kind of repetitive to hear on battle mode a lot whenever I hit someone, so I changed it to thump, as it's more of a signal thing and it's not so repetitive and loud and obnoxious. So I have mine always on thump, but it can be whatever you'd like. Trying to look right now. Okay, and I think all we have left is the Slayer controller. So before I go to the Slayer controller, I just want to say that the Demon controller is always the same, but you can change it however you want. I have all of mine just set to the default, but yeah. Onto the Slayer controller. So to make yours customizable, usually by default it's set to the first tick at the very beginning. So to make it custom, just scroll all the way right, and then you'll be able to edit it how I have mine. So the first thing I changed around was the equipment launcher and the switch weapon, because the equipment launcher and like the Switch Weapon mod and Equipment Launcher, they just felt wrong to me being on opposite sides, considering that Switch Weapon was right below Weapon mod, so I could easily just do quick swaps a lot easier. So I have those swapped around. Left stick, by pressing down on it, by default is set to nothing, but I have mine set to Super Shotgun because left stick is my main mobility. So if I press down on it, I'll automatically take out the Super Shotgun, which is the second most mobile thing in the game. The D-pad is really customizable for anyone, but I have mine usually set to this for the campaign. Up, ballista, left switch equipment, down heavy cannon, and right for rocket launcher. Now, I do change these throughout the game. Horde mode, I change like the left bottom 5 the most, but everything else is always left the same. But I always change my weapon sets and the switch equipment one on Horde mode to adjust. There are times, like on the Mars Core match level, I have had to switch out the heavy cannon for Crucible, which if you need to do that, that's okay, that's necessary. But yeah, I've done that. For battle mode, I have the combat shotgun and the plasma rifle taking the place on left and down on the D-pad. Because you can't use ice ball in battle mode, I'm pretty sure, and heavy cannon, honestly, it's optional, but I found the plasma rifle to be more useful, especially against Archviles, which I'll be making a video soon going over all the battle mode stuff and the best ways to take out player demons and stuff like that. But that's what I have for that. But these are usually my main controls as far as that. Now I'm going to go over the weapon wheel, because I know a lot of people have been going on about this, and everyone has been talking about, well, okay, maybe not everyone, honestly, I'm just making up people in my head, but people are always wondering how to make your weapon wheel smaller and the best weapon wheel loadout, and this is customizable as well. It's mainly opinion based, but I've made mine to where it is the most useful for me. So I'm going to load into the Fortress of Doom real quick, and I'm going to go over the weapon wheel. So it's just going to take a second. Alright. Also, I apologize if my controller is really loud. This is my first time doing a voiceover on a video. But yeah, weapon wheel, it looks like this. So, the main reason heavy cannon is up is because if I do use Crucible, I can just toggle the weapon wheel and go forward, and I'll be able to quickly do a PB. I have my combat shotgun set up here, mainly just for Pachydaemons. Honestly, most of these are kind of directional based, but also not. I don't have the rocket launcher or super shotgun set here because those are always binded to my controller, like no matter what. BFG and chain gun, you can kind of swap these around, because I've swapped them around a lot, but I found this way to be most useful because I only use the chain gun for the shield, so I'll back up and then this way, because the shields are supposed to defend you, and that has seemed most useful for me. BFG, I don't frequently walk forward and left and toggle the weapon wheel, so that's kind of a directional thing. I used to really like the Unmaker, but honestly, I don't use it a lot anymore. I found the BF to just be a lot more useful, but if you can find a way to make the Unmaker useful, be my guest. But that's about it for my controls in this video. I've went over the weapon wheel, all my settings, controls, so I hope this has been useful for you guys, and maybe you guys, it'll help you guys improve in some way. But yeah, that's all my controls and stuff like that. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be releasing a battle mode series soon, going over all the demons and the Slayer and the perks and stuff like that. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. See ya.